everybody, here's Krystian from Teamworkcast. I'm here today with a beautiful new video about how we record our beautiful Teamworkcast show. I'm going to show you a little bit of the technology and the techniques we're using to record our podcast show, so you perhaps can record your own podcast show. Now, today I wanted to talk a little bit about how we record our video, something that a lot of listeners are asking us actually. And before we start, I wanted to ask you, please do not do one of those things. Like, do not try to record, you playing on your PSP, like with your cell phone, like kind of like this, or maybe like holding it and trying to, to make it work with just one hand, or maybe having like your little sister come in and hold it while you're playing the game. It's very, very difficult to get a good working setup so you can record your gameplay with a cell phone or with any kind of camera. Actually, we tried to record the PlayStation Vita with a camera, and I worked a lot on this. I tried to make it so that it doesn't vibrate in anything. It was very, very difficult. Most of the times you will end up like the image will vibrate and shake, or it will be not focused, or you would lose a lot of quality, and it's just really, really hard to pull this off. I feel like a lot of professional review websites are still struggling with this problem. The Vita is probably not the best place to start recording a podcast with. For all other devices, there's usually other solutions of capturing the actual image digitally, and that's what you should definitely go for. So now I would like to introduce to you a device that I use to record most of our shows, and actually Shepard also used to record most of our shows, that Nexella is actually using still, which is it's called the Haupage PVR. And it's actually a quite old device, but it's incredibly sturdy and incredibly versatile. I used to record a lot of stuff with it, even like an old Super Nintendo. So it's a very, very cool thing. One thing I thought a little bit unusual when I got it is that it uses like this component, this rainbow coalition of connectors, like this. It's composite. I think it's composite, or is it compound? Anyway, so these kind of weird analog connections. So for me, it was kind of like weird because I always thought analog is kind of like, it's not that good of a quality. It looks horrible. At least that was the case when, back in those days when you were using those connections, remember like PlayStation 2? Yeah. So I thought, it would deliver kind of similar quality. And I was kind of surprised because those connections are actually, like for any kind of podcasting purposes, this is absolutely, enough quality-wise. And the cool thing about those connections is that you usually get any kind of adapter from any kind of console to get into those. So for example, this is like a connection for the Wii that goes into those, and you can reuse it for the Wii U as well. So there you go. And here is an example of another thing we've been asked about quite a lot. How do you record from the PSP? Oh, did you hack your PSP? No, there's actually a cable for this. You can buy a cable that looks like this and like this, and you can it just goes right into your PSP right here, like this, and you can record straight the screen of your PSP into the Haupage PVR device. So it's actually incredibly versatile. Nowadays there's a new model out, so you probably can get those old devices much cheaper, like because they're used or something, or maybe they're trying to get rid of the old stock. So at the time of recording of this tutorial, you should definitely check out these if you have a low budget and you want to get just something to record video. And just so you know that there's also alternatives, this is the newer model, the PVR2, which I recently got. The only difference is really the fact that it uses HDMI, except instead of those old rainbow connections. And the quality is a little bit better, but to be honest, I'm not actually seeing that much improvement. And to some extent, it's actually worse because, for example, the PlayStation 3 has a lot of problems with HDMI outputs, recording HDMI output. So it's kind of like a little bit problematic, actually. And the software is not quite as good as the previous one. Me and Shepard are kind of disappointed because it is smaller and nicer, and it's kind of cool to be able to use HDMI. but it's not quite as sturdy and perfect and problem-free as the old PVR was. So if you're trying, if you want to keep your entire system just using HDMI, that might be a good choice, but otherwise the old one is probably a better solution if you are on a tight budget. One thing I also wanted to mention is that it has like a USB connection, so it connects with a USB to your PC. And it actually does the compression by itself. The device itself is doing the compression, not your PC. So if you're having like an old PC and you're kind of worried if it will be, fast enough to do like HD compression live, you don't have to deal with this. The device itself is actually taking care of this. Now, I know as a matter of fact that there is other manufacturers producing similar kinds of devices. I know there's a company called Elagto which produces one, which a lot of people are enjoying quite a lot. Me and Shepard, we've been going with PVR quite a bit, and that's actually what almost the entire team is using. Putty is using also a Haupage device called the Colossus, which is like an internal version of pretty much the same thing. I think we had quite a lot of problems with the Colossus. I'm not sure if this is a solution I would probably recommend. So far, the one that we had least problems with was the Haupage PVR. But if you have any other suggestions for things that people should check out, you can post them in the comments. Now, for capturing screen input from if you're on your PC, there are like different software you can use. The one software which I thought was really amazing, what I was really impressed by, was XSplit, which is a software that you can use to stream stuff, but you can also use it to record, a portion of your screen to a hard drive. It also captures like the audio input. And so if you are interested in capturing, PC stuff, then that's probably a way to go. I heard there are a lot of different other ways to go. And there's probably lots of other people that have different kind of software that prefer. So again, if you have a good solution for capturing PC games, you should also maybe post them in the comments. So we will be posting links and like more information about those devices in the video description, so you can check them out if you're interested. Basically, it's a pretty simple thing. You just buy one of those devices and you can capture pretty much every console that you can imagine. For if you're doing your PC stuff, you don't even have to buy anything. You just have to get one of those software solutions that are already available. I'm pretty sure there are freeware solutions as well, so you probably don't even have to invest any kind of money in it if you're ever really hardcore about this. So that's it for today, and see you next time. Bye bye.